COVID-19?
Well, it was much more dangerous. The mortality rate with SARS was almost 10%, and we're certainly not seeing that with COVID-19. One of the changes that have made it possible to make such rapid progress with this new virus is really technology. For example, the Chinese authorities released the complete genetic makeup of the virus in a matter of weeks after it was discovered. That was not possible 20 years ago. It would not have happened. And similarly, the techniques for making the virus proteins in a form that might be useful as a vaccine, they use those techniques that have been developed in the last 20 years or so. So it's really the rapid rate of technical progress in science that has allowed this approach to be so rapid at the moment.
Now, Professor, I want to broaden the discussion a little bit. COVID-19 is certainly something new, something unprecedented, but coronaviruses are a part of our lives. I mean, they have emerged in the past as well. So could you please help our audience understand how many types of coronaviruses are out there, and how likely is it for someone to have already contracted a coronavirus in their life?
We've known about coronaviruses in humans for probably close to 60 years. But the viruses that we're familiar with and have been familiar with over that time cause very, very mild diseases. In fact, those coronaviruses are typically associated with mild forms of the common cold. So we have probably encountered these at least once in our life, but the disease that it presented with was one that we're familiar with, caused actually by many different viruses. So they haven't been seen as a serious threat. The coronaviruses also exist infect other species. And the risk that has occurred with coronaviruses in relatively recent years has been when animal coronaviruses have managed to infect humans and acquire the capacity to spread in humans. So that's the case for SARS. It appeared very rapidly from a market that handled live wild animals, and was transmitted to humans and then was able to spread within humans. Fortunately, it was possible to stop that spread by intense isolation of infected individuals. There is also a coronavirus which is currently circulating called MERS, which is Middle East Respiratory Syndrome virus. That's also a coronavirus. It seems to be contracted from camels, and in humans it is very, very dangerous and has a fairly high mortality rate as well. But that virus doesn't seem to spread very effectively from one human to another, and so it hasn't really broken out in the way that this virus has. The real risk with viruses, and it's been with us all the time, is that when a virus comes from one species into another, we cannot predict what sort of disease it's going to cause. It may be a benign virus that causes essentially no disease in its original host, and when it moves to a new one, all bets are off. It can be very, very serious, or it can be almost invisible. Obviously, we see the serious ones, and we tend not to see the invisible ones that are testing us all the time to see if, because we come in contact with them.
Now, Professor, my last question to you. Do we know which animal was the reservoir for COVID-19?
We don't know definitively, but the best evidence that we have suggests it came from a bat. There are many large bats, typically fruit bats, but they also eat insects on occasion. And in some parts of the world, and certainly in some parts of China, they are a food source. So they are the wild animals are trapped. Bats harbour a large number of viruses, and what appears to have happened here is it's probably gone from a bat to another animal, and then from that second animal into humans. It's called an intermediary host, and that has been seen before as well.